Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Still kind of setting up, sorry. Apologies. You know, it's my stream whenever I open with apologies for technical difficulties. But, oh my god. Do I have them? We're just gonna chill right now while I get my act together. Audio's good. Perfect. Great. Okie dokie. All right. Okay. Getting it together. Slowly getting it together. But welcome, everybody. We're going to be doing a digital writer's room today. I'm going to hang out with you for a little bit while we wait for all of our writers to trickle in. And if nobody trickles, then we'll do it anyway. And I'll write alone. And I'm also streaming on YouTube Vertical Live, if anybody's interested. If anybody, for some reason, is on the go and has to use their phone, happy to be in service that way as well. My goodness, what an angle. That is the wifey who loves attention. Oh, she's so cool. And the dog. You've seen scurrying across the screen. That Sugar? 1 second. Doesn't the internet love dogs? Here we go, internet. Here's my Boston Terrier. What's up, baby? Hi. How are you? You doing good? You want to tell the world hello? Yeah. It's about as good as I expected it to go because you don't speak English. Anywho, let's check the chat. Ooh, Sobakin. Hey, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming in today. Thanks for the lurk or chat activity, whatever you choose to do. Hey. And I hope you're ready to write today, or at least witness some writing. I'm sorry, Boo. There you go. Oh, hope everybody had a good Memorial Day weekend as well, if you celebrate it. So where we left off in our digital writer's room was we were basically still throwing creative spaghetti against the wall. You have to remember this is a very condensed process. Kind of came up with our story, a few characters. I think we got a protagonist, we got a supporting character, we have an antagonist, our big obstacle, this alien shapeshifter kind of carnivorous being situation. And let me go ahead and open up our infinite whiteboard, freeform. That's what we write on here, and it's been serving us pretty well. Starting to get a little messy, but I think that's a good thing. It means, one, that we're using it. Two, I think the reorganization of ideas also helps inform what the story is. Have you ever had to just take a moment as a human being to say, hold on, let me get my thoughts in order? Well, that's what this is. A moment to get the thoughts in order. Ooh, look at this. It looks crazy, doesn't it? It looks intimidating, but we're starting to move into an outline, basically. I'd still like to do the thing where we kind of throw a little bit more creative spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks. What we were doing last time was we were thinking in images, right? We know what kind of movie we're writing. It seems like just based on language, we understand that it's a feature or a short, but whatever it is, it's cinematic, and that it involves shapeshifters, a drive-in movie festival, film festival, a food truck, a vegan chef, and these carnivorous, human-hungry aliens. And so whenever we think in images, we think in what we're promising our audience, don't we? So if you go to a horror movie, you want to be scared. And if they don't scare you, then was it a horror movie? Are you mad at the people who wrote it, put it together? Well, yeah, because we're promising the audience something. We have a conceit to the movie. So what we did here was we looked at things that we would expect in a movie. Will they make it into the movie? I don't know. Will they not? I don't know. But it's also important to give yourself enough characters. Where I was thinking about going after this little brainstorm, we have these alien carnivorous kills. Well, that also means that in a horror movie, you need some deaths, right? You wouldn't go and expect to have 0 deaths in a Friday the 13th or a Jason Voorhees, or a Jason Voorhees, or a Freddy Krueger or a Michael Myers movie. So, with that being said, what I would like to do is whenever we have a few more people come into the chat, Shade Master Jade, for instance. Hey, what's up, Shade Master? A good day. How are you? What we're going to do is we're going to brainstorm just like we thought visually with these bits, these cinematic visualizations. We're going to brainstorm characters, and the way that we brainstorm characters is that we realize that they are a reflection of the theme and of different parts of our character. They're mostly in a genre like this, a metaphor for that part of yourself that you kind of need to lose. The worst part of yourself, the self-righteous part of yourself. And so this is a good place to just kind of start thinking, well, how can we enrich the world? How can we world build? 1, introduce more characters. 2, how can we make them thematic? 2, the story. Let's increase the font so we can kind of read this a little bit better. Let's scroll down. Let's get this over here. Let's see our cast of characters. Who's a cast of characters? Who would it be fun to kind of put into this story? Who would we expect to see based on like the themes that we've represented? Let me check my visuals to make sure everybody can see what I'm doing here. Cast of characters. Okay, perfect. I have a tendency to write off screen, and I don't want to do that. So let's do this. The first person I'm thinking is in a movie where we have aliens killing people at a drive-in movie theater festival is a cinephile archetype. A movie nerd who thinks in plot and movie references, surprising source of knowledge, and maybe a little self-righteous in his own, or her, or their, in their own right. So the reason that I say this is we are going to have characters that are a reflection of our protagonist, and we already know who our protagonist is. If we go up to some of our character building, we said a self-righteous vegan chef is invited to cater a horror movie film festival. So we already know the obstacles that she's going to face. We have kind of done some of our work. We know what Claire wants. Claire wants everyone to be a vegan. That Claire's family back in the day owned a slaughterhouse or butcher shop. It's kind of her backstory for motivation for being who she is today. And that means to me that there's going to be the complete antithesis of Claire. So if I say something like, hey, this is a cinephile, a movie nerd who thinks about, who thinks in plot and movie references, maybe they have the same attitude as Claire does about, let's say, veganism. But can we have somebody who's not a chef, maybe somebody who doesn't care about food or cares about food too much in a different way, or someone who is the opposite of a vegan? And remember, I'm playing around here, but being a vegan is not someone's whole persona, and I'm sure there are a lot of stand-up jokes that would say otherwise, but we're not playing that game here today. We're just really trying to build out the dimensionality of all of these characters that we possibly have. So if you want to participate in the writer's room, tell me something. Who would be a good foil to Claire's character if you were here for the past few weeks of development, right? Who would you see? To me, we also talked about this maybe being out in like Nebraska. Like it would be odd to like set it in a place where they're known for like Omaha steaks, right? The irony of that. So it'd almost be like maybe like a cattle rancher or meat distributor. Whoops. Can I not write? No, I can't. Whoops. Sorry. Knocking all my equipment over. Maybe he was like the sponsor. Of the film festival. Put it on, right? Maybe we have a rival chef. Maybe she's not the only food truck in town. Maybe someone whose views are almost nearly so progressive that they've looped back around. I don't know. Guys, you're the writers, and if you want to participate, cool. if you want to lurk, how about you drop a little I'm lurking in the chat so I know what I'm waiting on, so to speak. Should I be waiting on responses? Should I be going along without you guys so you can watch me just essentially work? You know, sometimes it's nice just to see other people do the work, learn from it, I guess, if you want to. Love to see you participate, though. I think that's what really makes a writer's room fun. Because I could turn off the camera and write solo, but I'm here for you guys. And honestly, I don't think I would write this movie had it not been for groupthink, right? Considering the kind of movie that we're writing, I'm also thinking an animal or pet. Potentially a mascot or the fest. If we want to hit the nail on the head, it could be a sacrificial lamb. And remember, we don't have to keep these. We're playing around. It's fun to play around. Let's call it, no, I'm just writing my thoughts. Maybe like Petey. Or maybe Larry the Lamb. Or maybe lamb mascot named Shank. Lamb Shank. Claire could find revolting. How dare they? Meowfa, thank you for my little dancing dinosaur. You know I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hope you've been well. Happy Tuesday. And nobody was in the room yet. Just also want to say thank you for stopping in, but also, happy post-Memorial Day weekend if you celebrated. Happy to have you here. Okay, let's keep going. Is there anybody in the chat who needs to be caught up or refreshed on the story that we're writing? Sometimes that happens. I just kind of jumped in. Do I need to kind of remind everybody? I assume people remember, but that may not be true. So let's pump the brakes. Also, it'll give you a moment to brainstorm if you wanted to participate in this little cast of characters here. We are using the Twitch as a forum, a digital writer's room, to create an original idea whole cloth from cradle to grave. And what we've started doing here is I've started documenting all of the things that we do to get to an idea. We voted in polls diplomatically to reach the idea. We dwindled it down, and what it shakes out to be is this. This is our log line. This is our elevator pitch to anybody who asks, well, what's this movie about? And any more details, guys, we're building out those in real time. We're sewing up a parachute because we've already jumped out of the plane. We're building wings on the way down. But here's what we said. A self-righteous vegan chef is invited to cater a horror film festival only to discover shape-shifting aliens are feasting on cinephiles, and she must find a way to defeat them before she becomes their next meal. Okay, that's a pretty good encapsulation. We do know who we're writing for, right? We have our protagonist here, Claire, who is the owner of the food truck, the aforementioned self-righteous vegan chef. Claire wants everyone to be vegan is kind of like her overall want. We have a little crafted backstory as to why she is this way. Someone in her past was poisoned by tainted meat, roadkill, served as dinner. And then that also makes me think that would be really cool if we had, and this is going to be weird, but think about it. If her backstory informs who she is, maybe it could also inform the plot. Wouldn't it be a really interesting twist if Claire ended up having to cook and serve a human being to these aliens in order to kill them that was like a sick person, maybe blood disease or something terminal, right? Let's go ahead and increase the font size, make it consistent. And then I'll bold this, and then this character, this character came to work sick, determined to be there even the expense of others' health. Right? We all kind of hate this person. Just stay home, just stay home. Oh, wow. You guys didn't even tell me that this was off the screen. Get caught up. Okay. Mookie says get caught up. Well, I hope that helped. Did you want to get caught up more? Do we need to like really pour over all this stuff? Do we really need to get super, super duper refreshed? Because right now we're assembling pieces for us to play with, right? It's going to be hard to paint a picture, a really vivid, detailed picture, if you only put 2 colors on your palette. So these characters, these locations, the thinking in imagery, the things that we're expecting, the tone, the atmosphere, the character choices and tactics that they make, the time of day, all of this stuff helps us world build, right? A lot of people call it world building. For me, I just call it pre-writing. I call it giving myself the toys to play with. And I want to hear from the writers too. Mookie MC says, we are good, I think. Cool, excellent. Well, writers, you kind of see maybe how I started off developing potential characters for this movie. We have Sue, her sous chef, haha. We have our main character. We have our antagonist. We're gonna cast someone as a cinephile, a classic movie nerd. Of course, they're at the film festival. And a cattle rancher / meat distributor who is kind of the antithesis of Claire. Also, if that person was a sponsor of this film festival, holding power over her and having the opposite view of her, like we're seeing the man, so to speak, even though we can cast it as a woman or whatever we choose, animal or pet. There seems to be a lot of animal themes running throughout. The value of animals as life. Are humans looked at? Can humans be looked at as food too? Like, what if we treated humans like we treat cattle for the slaughter? And then we have something that's brought about from Claire's backstory, which would be interesting if it turned into her Act 3 resolution, which is the person that she's going to kill and cook is a sick person, and then you feed that sick person whatever we decide that sickness is to the aliens in order to weaken them or cause the aliens to die or whatever it may be. It's a potential idea, but who are you seeing? Who are you seeing, and who do you expect to see in a movie like this? You can think in archetypes, like Commedia dell'arte, the romantic lead, the wide sage, voice of wisdom, the fair maiden, the court jester, the fair but just king, the evil uncle. Like, there are things that are inherent to classic stories that we can take and we can use ourselves. So, writers, I see that there's a handful of you in here. Pitch a character, and there are no wrong answers. I want you to feel safe in the space. And even if it's a character that maybe you had in your back pocket and it doesn't seem like it would fit here, maybe we can craft it to fit here. Maybe you have a strange family member that you think, this uncle, this aunt is so quirky and weird, and they do this one strange thing that kind of sets them apart from the rest of the family. Maybe we can use that. Mm-hmm. Do 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 do. Okay, so let me ask you this. Pretend you are my AI. Can you guys make me a list of who you would expect to see at a drive-in movie theater for a film festival? Well, I would expect to see... Jeez. I would expect to see maybe actors, director of a film that's premiering there. And, you know, whenever you do something like that, it could be funny. It could be like maybe their film foreshadows the movie, or reinforces its themes. Ooh, Mookie says a reluctant participant attendee who is bookish and more into analytics than entertainment. Excellent. And Sobekin Live, thank you. It's going well. Thank you so much for asking. Last one I saw was about the chess player. The chess player. The chess player. Oh, I remember that. Okay, the guy who essentially like locked himself in his house and was trying to play solo chess. Yeah. And his neighbor, that's right. It came. Yeah. Okay, so it's been a hot minute, Sopakin. That's fantastic. We did end up finishing that story. I'm glad to have you back here. Have you caught up, by the way, on what we're doing here? And while I give you a chance to answer, I want to incorporate Mookie MC's character idea here. Go ahead and get this font going. Left justify. And Mookie says a reluctant participant, attendee who is bookish. Oh, like the guy who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Right? Is that what we're thinking, Mookie? A reluctant attendant who is bookish. I think, and more into, you said analytics than entertainment. Perfect. The fish out of water. He's not supposed to be here. He doesn't know anything about it. And, You know what I was thinking, Mook? I was thinking, it's a drive-in movie theater. I'd love to see somebody on a date. So maybe this guy is, maybe he's on a date, trying to impress a girl who is into movies. And then we have 2 people. Now we have like a couple. Warren Scott and something Timmons. Yeah. I see Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's there for the free food. Here's what I do like about that. I don't know if you're like joking or trolling or not with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I do think you are right. I do think we need a celebrity cameo. Maybe like we have somebody whose film, got in, and like he's the big headliner that people promise to see. Now, here's what I would say, which is we have Arnold Schwartz. Oh my gosh, I've never had to spell this. In to maybe be the draw, like who's the box office draw? Oh, thank God. Thank God his last name, it can be auto-corrected. But also I would say the writer's room should have who or which celeb is the most ironic choice to maybe be the draw, right? And I say maybe to be the draw. We don't need to be second guessing our choices. They either make it or don't. We don't have to do the hemming and hawing, maybe. And I even did it here. Maybe he's on a date. We'll just say on a date. And if it's not the right thing, we'll change it later. But let's be bold in our decisions as we make them. Not trolling, but need to throw out something absurd. No, I agree. But see how it did work? It did work. You're totally right. We do need a celebrity cameo. Totally. And the fact, I know you said like there for the free food. Eats the free food. Because it is food themed, could be like only to discover it is human meat. Right? That would be a cool moment. What am I eating? This is not a hot dog. It is a hot man. Huh? All right. I just get myself canceled. Oh, Mookie has another one. An employee who goes around and empties out trash cans, who knows a bit of martial arts, but not quite enough. Maybe like he's a kung fu movie fan. It's like he saw the Chuck Norris movies, all the Van Damme movies, all of those like really like 90s era Steven Seagal. I like that. So, I'm going to shorten it, just an abbreviation of your idea. Mookie, I'm going to call him Kung Fu Janitor. Because that's funny. I like it. Fan of 90s martial arts action flicks. Knows a little, but certainly not enough. To fend off aliens. Cool. Excellent. I love this. They need to live and breathe. Awesome. Fantastic work, guys. Anybody else? Does anybody else have an idea? Or does, even so, like, it's kind of funny because there are no original ideas, right? Art is kind of stealing or being inspired by, or we call it an homage, but characters in similar movies in the past that you've really enjoyed. Like, I'm glad I got to see that character, or that character was a really great comedic relief, or it was a really, how do you say this, pleasurable kill. It was so satisfying to see the the racist get decapitated kind of a situation. Well, let's find a way to put a racist in this film and then, make him eat a grenade kind of a situation. If that is your cup of tea, of course. But I want it to come from the writers. Oh, and Suanova. Welcome back. Welcome back, Suanova. But this is fun. We're really populating the world, aren't we? You can really start to see this place coming to life. Oh, you know what? I had an idea. I'll contribute. I'm very lucky to live in California, and sometimes they still have, drive-in movie theaters. They're pretty cool. And, oops. Come on. Concession stand worker. They still have the old-fashioned, get out of your car, walk to the concession stand, get your Twizzlers, get your popcorn. And not to mention, it's kind of food-themed. I don't really know what makes this concession stand worker like a three-dimensional person. We just have kind of a job that is theme-related to the story. But maybe the writers can suggest something. Maybe, and remember, a good well to go to is that this person is a reflection or a refractment of our protagonist. Something that Claire might see in herself that she would need to overcome or dislike. For instance, if we went back up to her backstory, someone in her past was poisoned by tainted meat, roadkill served as dinner, or maybe Claire's family owned a slaughterhouse and butcher shop. I wonder if this person isn't like a family member. She knows, she has a cousin who works as a concession stand worker, and we have the family member who knows Claire's secret and reveals it to our supporting character or something like that. Mookie says you got to have the security guard who puts up a valiant fight but ends up being bludgeoned to death by his own baton. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, you do. I just copy this and then let me duplicate, yeah. But help me, that's a great point, Mook. Security guard. Valiant effort, but bludgeoned to death with own baton. And I would say also, I wonder what kind of security guard works at a drive-in movie festival. I wonder if it could be something that's even heartbreaking, just like a retiree who thought this would be an easy gig. I'm just going to roll with the idea that I originally had, unless you guys have something better that comes up. And maybe this is it. So We Can Live says, I saw this litter picker in London that made me chuckle. He was so eager in picking up trash and was talking to himself, could easily be super absorbed in himself not to notice anything else. Okay, that's great. let's do that as well. I guess we have a janitor, but already, let's see, the Kung Fu janitor, but maybe it's like maybe it's a janitorial team and we could have 2 janitors and I'll put them together. We have the litter obsessed janitor. And then we have needs things to be clean, takes job, super serious. Super serial. And I'm going to put these 2 here. Sometimes it's fun to have like a peas in a pod kind of situation. This janitorial team. Still want to fill out this concession stand worker. I'm thinking what is it? Cousin. Oh, I pasted it twice. It's just trying to unbold cousin. Who knows Claire's backstory and works at the drive-in. Maybe got her the job. No, I say maybe. Got Claire the job. Yeah, Claire, we both work in food. It's different. I'm like a chef. You just pop popcorn, you know? They could have a little food animosity, so to speak. We don't know, Shade Master Jade. Here's the thing. We are playing around. This is free writing. We just get to brainstorm. We get to have fun. And whatever makes it, makes it. Eventually, we're just going to serve the story. But if we get excited by something, yeah, absolutely. Put it in. Yeah, and I love a litter obsessed janitor. I agree, Mook. Good character, Sobekin Live. And I am saying that right. Is it Sobekin Live? Excusez-moi. Pardon-moi. And for anybody on the YouTube verticals, if you're hanging out, be sure to like and subscribe. Or come join me on Twitch. You can see what we're all about. Or YouTube Live. Okay. This is cool. Anybody else? Oh, you know what? I was thinking with it being a drive-in movie theater, I think there could be like a classic car lover, right? You know, maybe it's also like kind of part car show, like somebody who brings in the old convertible Bel Air and makes it kind of have this like 1950s feel, even though it's modern, right? So let's maybe call that person Vintage Car Guy. Or gal. Or them. Vintage car person. There to show off their classic car. Gearhead. Is that what that's called? No. Autohead? What do you call a car obsessed person? Motorhead? Yes, Sobekin Live. Anything's up for grabs. They're shapeshifters, so why not? So like that's a great let's do a next column of potential alien shapeshifters. Let's get some antagonist characters in here. We have these kind of unwitting characters who are most likely going to be killed off or maybe courageously save the day. We don't know yet, but let's talk about who is shapeshifted. Oh, let me make sure that's not cut off for you guys. So, Mookie says a shot of someone polishing their classic car and they see the glossy paint, something bad going down behind them. Yes. So let's go ahead and make that a post-it note, because we're going to be sticking post-it notes in the proper. This is, just so you're aware, Act 2, or maybe end of Act 1, where we see an inciting incident. We have Act 2, maybe vintage. We'll assign it to the proper character. Vintage car person is polishing / waxing car and sees something bad happen in the reflection. Excellent. Way to think in images, Mookie. And we'll come back for this. Let me put this next to the other post-it notes that we have. Oh, you know what? This kind of belongs in, forgive me for moving around, but this kind of belongs in thinking in images. Mookie thought in terms of a movie image. I would put that here. It's kind of supposed to go in this list. I'm just going to, it's messy, but we'll clean it up. And then in the art of cleaning it up, we'll have like even more revelations when we start to put things together literally. Can everybody see? Is that cut off? Move it over a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we still have our stuff here. Let's see. So we know that aliens are secretly kind of running the drive-in theater horror fest because they're the ones luring the humans in. So we'll have the festival director. And we'll have the people in positions of power. Who do you expect to be in positions of power at, the drive-in movie theater fest? Well, there's always like somebody who programs the movies. So the film programmer. And then let's add some human characteristics to these titles, right? Whenever you say definitely the manager Sobekin Live, are you talking about like this film director here? Is director and manager the same, or you're thinking of somebody else completely? And what's the major difference if that's what we're thinking? I'm going to give my writers a chance to write. See what you're feeling. Oh, I also see that this is about my stupid head. It's about to get in the way of this. I'll move these down. Well, let's see. How old is this film director? Right? We're talking. So we said caterpillar mustache. So most likely, man. Don't they have managers in drive-through cinemas just like responsible for workers and stuff? Oh, okay, excellent. So that's what I wanted to ask. Perfect. So we can do that as well. So manager of the drive-in. Perfect. And you said caterpillar mustache. And you also said, oh, you didn't say anything else besides caterpillar mustache. Okay, cool. Let's give them a little treatment as well. Like, for instance, it's really nice when we have like something like Kung Fu Janitor, and this person has a little bit of a personality, a fan of 90s martial arts action flicks, Van Damme, Chuck Norris, Jackie Chan, all this kind of stuff. And he thinks he knows a little bit of martial arts, but obviously not enough to fend off aliens. We have a janitor that's obsessed with litter. Right now, we have these things where I can write these characters with my eyes closed because they have such clear games to play, don't they? The security guard, valiant effort but bludgeoned to death with own baton. I even like kind of hinted at, well, what kind of security guard is there really at a drive-in movie theater? Maybe it's like I almost want to put unlikely security guard. And then as writers, we can brainstorm, well, what makes this person an unlikely security guard? Is he a teenager? Is it somebody, is the security guard like unlikely because they're in a wheelchair and you don't expect a security guard to be in a wheelchair? You know, something like that. Now, let me ask you this, Mookie. Is the manager an alien? Before we go into the manager is skimming some off the top of the books. The reason that I ask is because being a man-eating alien and a pilferer is like a little bit of a hat on a hat. If you're already a man-eating alien, I don't really care that you're skimming some off the top of the books. It's kind of weird. Unless these aliens are... Unless, let's justify our idea, these aliens are really pro-industry and they have a good thing going. And there's one guy who's there's one alien in their human form who has taken on this human characteristic of getting a little greedy. Mookie says even aliens are greedy. Okay. Caterpillar mustache. Greedy alien who is skimming off the top. Okay, I'll bite. Let's justify that. Perfect. Sobekin Live says, what if security guard is a wannabe police officer, but going to be security guard and she's a woman, dark skin with a snappy attitude, or is that not good? I would just say a person's weight and race does not make them unlikely. It's more like, in what way is a person least fit for the job? Like saying someone is a teenager, I think, oh, they're scrawny, they're maybe still coming out of their shell, shy, their voice breaks, so they don't have a real sense of authority. Or if you swing the other way, which is essentially like hiring a Walmart greeter and putting a uniform on them that they're so frail that it weighs them down. They have trouble like swinging the baton. So I would think about the traits that a security guard needs to be a good security guard, and then think about the opposite. So if you need to be fast, then you're slow. And you know, being obese doesn't actually mean that you're not graceful or fast or athletic. I've seen a lot of like heavy set people who are nimble and quick and strong. There's a really great saying, and I can't remember which book it came from, but my producing partner Gabe and we always say, how do we stick a man with no hands in a room full of doorknobs? And that's kind of what we're talking about when we're talking about unlikely security guard. Acne is extra nutritious. I've never typed that sentence before. I don't think anybody has ever typed that sentence before. But whenever you say acne, Mookie, I'm thinking, okay, do we like the idea of the security guard being like a 13-year-old who volunteered to take the job because they're interested in cinema or their dad owns the drive-through or something or other, trying to get college credit? I don't know what a reason it could be, but whenever you're dealing in camp, like our genre, which we've established before we started writing, I feel like I wouldn't also really have to explain this. I think probably the least amount of explaining less would actually increase the funny. Okay, you guys are having your own discussion. Let me see. I'm going to say, so now I'm going to remove unlikely. And based on Mookie's terribly gross acne comment, I'm going to assume it's a teenager. Scrawny, teenage, security guard. And I'll put in parentheses maybe like going through puberty. You know, if this guy has a caterpillar mustache, then this guy's really trying hard to get his mustache going. That's fun. Let's give some love like that to the festival director. And remember that they're a shape-shifting alien in disguise. Let's give some love like that to the film programmer. Remember, these two people are alien, shapeshifter, human carnivores in disguise. Okay, writer's room, attack! Do it. Go for it. Oh, wait. Doom, 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 boom, 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 boom. Doom, boom, 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 boom. Ba-da-da-da-da-doom, boom, 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 ba boom, 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 boom. Do 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 do. Maybe I shouldn't be singing that. I got a copyright strike the other day for watching Mookie's movie, so maybe I shouldn't be singing Jeopardy. Although I did do it horribly enough to think that it counts as satire. You're asking for the fake persona that they are projecting? Well, Mook, here's the thing. If that is true, then this is true. That's the game we're playing. And what I would say is, if you're willing to see a shape-shifting alien manager of a drive-through, where you say aliens can be greedy too, yes, if that is true, then maybe these aliens have some sort of human persona as well. Also, you know, if they're on a mission from another planet to eat humans, maybe they have rankings. Maybe one of them is clearly the leader, the captain, and the other two are subordinates or lieutenants. And we have a few alien festival directors, programmers, managers who are the team. Thank you, Mookie. It does make me feel better. Sobican Live says, festival director has a suit and big glasses to hide his eyes. Oh, like sunglasses, right? So not even just glasses, but sunglasses. He is definitely large after eating all them Yumis. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so a looming or maybe hulking figure who wears a suit and dark sunglasses. This kind of makes me think, and you know, it's good. It's good. I'm glad you're throwing things out because now we need, like, it's inspiring me too, right? Like, how can we maybe personify the evils of what we know as like the Hollywood machine, right? The fact that this guy is even in a suit wearing dark sunglasses actually first made me think of like an 80s studio exec who does a lot of cocaine and still like maybe calls him the pictures and doesn't care about the art. He cares about like, well, do we have an explosion in the first 10 minutes? And who's the star? And can we get a starlet? And can we get her to show legs in the first 30 minutes? You know, like one of these real fast, snappy, materialistic, C-suite kind of people who see movies as product instead of the art that they are. This is actually a really good chance to comment on the state of cinema, right? Mookie says maybe one of them has a craving for a certain type of human based on their taste. Okay, I like this. Okay, and that would be the film programmer. You know, the person who literally curates the list of films. Like, it would make sense that this alien is a picky human eater. Only likes, it almost makes me think like instead of, based on like human type, like I only like big or skinny or hairy, whatever kind of humans. If we have to have our chef cook and eat human meat in Act 3, which is like the big obstacle she has to overcome in order to survive, maybe it's not about like what kind of human, but more about how they're prepared. That way we can also like avoid kind of the cultural traps of saying this kind of person may be more tasty or edible than another. Like I don't want to do we'll be forced to make a social commentary where I'd prefer us not to, and that's my choice is like the person leading this writer's room. So I'm just gonna take your choice, Mook, which is a wonderful idea. I'm just gonna pivot it slightly. A picky human only likes humans that are like, I'll say like wood grilled, and that can change. Like wood grilled is a placeholder, salted, deep fried, you know, or air fried, you know, if we're being like, I'm watching my figure. I'm watching my figure. That kind of thing. Ooh, Sopican Live says, this is a very interesting correlation, and I like where this this ideology is headed. So when showing legs to some might see it as sexual, the shape-shifting carnivorous aliens see it as food. And the predatory nature of Hollywood makes that correlation deeper than if they were just humans objectifying women. So this is where would we put this? This is almost theme. Let me just make a note here because it's theme. I'll say shape. Oh no, maybe you're not seeing this. I'm just gonna make the note here so you can see shifting aliens objectify the actors as food, whereas humans construe it as objectifying their bodies, sexuality, etc. Because that's a really great commentary that fits into theme. It's kind of hard to write theme first. Theme has a tendency to emerge. And I think the fact that we are doing this kind of like fun character work, throwing character ideas at the wall, and that did emerge from it, shows how like theme and character and relationships go hand in hand and almost beget one another, so to speak. Mookie is really, really upset. My ideas cannot be pivoted. They must live and breathe. Mookie. They are living and breathing. They're thriving, baby. Mookie also says an entourage that hangs out with the director, and each one of them give increasingly over-the-top compliments on the director's decisions or comments. I love this. I love this. Wait, but I have a question. Is this for over here, Mookie? The director of a film that's premiering there? Or are we talking about the festival director? I'm happy to pivot over here because this is not filled out. I like the idea of entourage, actors and director pumping themselves up. You know? Hun baguette. No, no aliens ever try to eat me. That's funny. Wait, so you said the Hollywood types, but still, I feel like actors and directors of film, that's also still Hollywood type? Or do you mean shape-shifting aliens? Shape-shifting aliens or actual actors that are at the drive-through for their own film festival? Oh, you got it. Okay, perfect. Cool. I thought we were on the same. We're usually on the same wavelength. I like that. Now, it almost makes me think, whenever we say this looming, hulking figure who wears a suit and dark sunglasses, like, I'm going to put this a la Weinstein. Sorry, I know it's gross, but it could be interesting to try and draw those parallels now that we've seen how, you know, it's kind of funny. We're seeing like how Hollywood eats people up, right? Now we're kind of in the food theme. Now I'm sorry. Now with themes of food and this cannibalism kind of like slowly morphing into objectification and them kind of being intertwined, seeing humans as food, as disposable, as something that we don't give a second thought to. We enjoy an actor and then we turn off the TV and our lives go on and we never think about what they're doing, even though, I don't know, maybe America, that's not true. There's such a celebrity culture, but actors that aren't celebrities, you don't think about the guy who was in the background sweeping up during the bar fight. I don't know where I'm headed with that train of thought, and that's fine. Eventually, Hollywood eats itself. You know what's so crazy? I literally had this thought today whenever I was thinking about when you have free time and your mind wanders. I had this thought, and I put this on my phone, Mook, and this is how funny parallel thinking works. I think Hollywood will die because it's more interested in recreating itself than procreating. If you were to anthropomorphize Hollywood into kind of an animal instinct, right? Like now that it's kind of owned by all of these major companies and profit is the bottom line, we're seeing like less and less really creative work and the expanse of mid content, essentially. That's what led me to that conclusion, but I like what you have because your verbiage is more befitting of the theme, which you say eventually Hollywood eats itself. And another way to say that is cannibalizes itself, which can make a really great Act 3 finale. And I'm going to leave that here because that's also part of the theme. Maybe I need a theme section. Maybe I need a theme section. Let me make sure. Is everybody seeing this? Is it all still lining up? Okay. So, great. Can anybody else think of anything else? Let's revisit our cast of characters and see if we can fill out any more of these like fun little details. You know, why not? The cinephile, a movie nerd who thinks in plot and movie references, surprising source of knowledge, maybe a little self-righteous in their own right. Self-righteous in their own right. I can't believe I wrote that. A cattle rancher meat distributor, perhaps the sponsor of the film festival. Let's build this person out. Let's keep going with the idea of this taking place in some sort of like maybe Midwest cattle farming state. I keep thinking about like Omaha Steaks in Nebraska, but I also in my head kind of keep picturing that big loud Texan character from The Simpsons, the guy with the giant hat and the toothpick in his mouth who's always like, well, you know, rides into town with a huge Cadillac and the longhorn skull on the what do you call that? Not the spoiler, the front of the car, I'll just say. But let's talk about this cattle rancher meat distributor. There's some really interesting parallels here to the aliens, right? So this guy is doing to animals what the aliens are doing to us, the human beings. So maybe it's cold, compartmentalized, and the argument for humans eating meat, right? He has the classic argument that everybody has. We've been eating meat all of our life. We are always omnivores. Animal fat is a good source of energy and protein. We need protein to live, and animals eat other animals, so why shouldn't we? Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. And that ain't no bull. Oh, I love that. That's character. Ends sentences in that ain't no bull. I love that. That's great. Good call. Good call, Mook. Okay. I even feel better about this character now. Now I understand. Now we have an animal or pet. They're just going to. We can writers. Maybe we could brainstorm. Is there a better animal than a lamb? The artificial lamb. That I say artificial. The sacrificial lamb. That we've called Shank, perhaps. You know what? It could be a good inciting incident. You know, it's something like this. If there was maybe the cattle rancher, meat distributor, maybe he's a pig farmer instead of a cattle rancher. He's brought a pig. They're going to do a pig roast. It's part of the drive-in movie film festival experience. Claire, our vegan food truck self-righteous chef, gets so upset that in attempts to free the pig from being cooked, she stumbles upon the aliens doing something far worse. Maybe that could be maybe this sacrificial lamb could be our inciting incident in Act 1. What do you guys think of that? Writers, how do you feel? And that ain't no bull. I'll let you think on it. I like the idea. Maybe a pig named Kevin Bacon. I stole that from real life. Ham it up, 2026. Okay, I'm taking that as a positive. Let's move on. We have a sick person, blood disease, something terminal. I don't know. This one's so sad on the surface. Going back and seeing all of these like really fun characters, this one feels like a hard one to fit into the movie, but it doesn't matter. We could just not use it if we don't want to. This character came to work sick, determined to be there even at the expense of others' health. Maybe like, if we wanted to be like maybe a little bit more topical, let's be blunt, has COVID. Oh, you give me a title for the festival? Ham it up 2026? I dig it. Love it. Got it. Sounds like the mascot for a cattle rancher company. The mascot. Oh, you mean Kevin Bacon or Lambshank? Oh, you're saying not for the fest, for the company. Yeah. For the cattle ranchers company. I say cattle rancher, it's kind of a placeholder. Maybe he's a pig farmer or something. Let me go ahead and move one of these over here. It's getting a little cluttered. Can everybody still read that? I think so. Put this over here. Ham it up. Okay, cool. A reluctant participant who is bookish, more into analytics than entertainment. So we have like this couple on a date. This guy's shooting his shot. Okay. We have celebrity cameo. Okay, so the first pitch was Arnold. Which celeb has the most ironic choice to be the draw to this drive-in movie festival? Eats the free food, only to discover it is human meat. One of the pros. Oh yeah. So thank you for stopping me before we went too fast. We did. We blew right by this. Let's take a girl and give her a name, or something active that the actor can play. We have reluctant participant, bookish. We can also just be gender neutral here and just talk about a person who is into movies. We have the cinephile. We have a cinephile up here. How can we keep expanding and show a wider range of personalities of the movie? So, there's a cinephile that also almost feels like a movie snob, but maybe there's like a movie lover. Snobs and lovers are a little bit different. Like she thinks the whole night is magic, or there's like a sense of nostalgia. Maybe she's or maybe they're nostalgic for a time that they didn't even live in. This must have been what it was like to be in the 1950s and go to a sock hop and drink malted milkshakes. Some people love the actors, not the movies. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, so, Sobekin, that makes me think this is a good opportunity for a fun, like, love triangle. Trying to oppress a date, not who is into movies, but who is into our celebrity cameo, into the star that is at the festival. That way, we have somebody longing after somebody who's longing after somebody. That's kind of fun, right? And then we get to tie it to another character, the celebrity cameo. I have been in love with Arnold ever since he came out with Pumping Iron. Now, setting that in 2026, maybe it's funny, but also maybe that informs the choice of the celebrity cameo. Why would somebody, and you know what, this could be a fake person, by the way. It doesn't have to be a real celebrity. We can come up with a name, for this cool celebrity. Let's do, how about Scott Stelzer? I'll put two names together. It could be like a fake Scott Stelzer celebrity that we've created. And then we could do that kind of fun Simpsons run. Not Seltzer. Stelzer. Where, hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such films as, what films might we remember Scott Stelzer from? Pitch me some writers. Pitch me some fake movies that Scott Stelzer starred in. If he's like a Timothy Chalamet type, part of me wants to think play on Timothy Chalamet movies like Jesse Omega. Instead of Dune, maybe Dunn. Or instead of Jaws, maybe, I don't know. No, I'm off Chalamet, but instead of like classic movies like Jaws, maybe like Mandible. Phalanges. Right? Call You by Her Name. I think this is the fun stuff. This is what people get into writer's room for. Most people want to go into writer's rooms for. Pitch me some jokes. Pitch me some fake movies. Let's have some fun here. Let's take a small break and just have a little fun with some fake movie names, fake movie titles. Has anybody heard of that movie Constipation? Oh, that's right. It hasn't come out yet. A Stitch in Crime. I love it. And then Death by the Crack of Dawn. Ooh, that's good. Death by the Crack of Dawn. And Whispers on the Beach. So, but can you tell me? You're the writer in the room. You don't need my permission. Just give me some stuff, baby. Give me all of them. Give me an action. Give me a drama. Let's pretend this actor has range. Whispers on the Beach. Scott Stelzer. What a career. What a career. Am I unbolding? There we go. This almost makes me want this almost makes me feel like committing to the idea of this fake celebrity is worth it, just to play with some of this stuff. A Stitch in Crime. Death by the Crack of Dawn. Whispers on the Beach, whose credits include what about instead of maybe it was in like a sitcom like Friends called Amigos? Jungle Heart. The Rhombus. Whoops. One. Yes. One banana peel too far. And then what's the one he won an award for? Schindler's Pissed. A Nazi revenge story. I don't want to besmirch that movie though. So beautiful. Yeah, okay, now let's everybody try and volunteer. We have some really good stuff here. What's the one he won an award for? And his award-winning film, Dun 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 dun. I would love for this to come from the writers. Take a pre-existing drama, turn it on its head. It has to be like a sexy movie, like so. Maybe it's not like maybe it's not like he won an Oscar. Maybe it's more like he won like an MTV Movie Award. The Rumbus 2, Pentagon. I'm adding that right after Rumbus. The Rumbus, Jesus, 2. The Pentagon. What would he need to do to win an Oscar? Well, what do we know? Maybe it needs to probably be a drama. Probably needs to be culturally topical, or historical, like recapturing an historical event, like a World War II movie usually, or some like highly intense family drama or political thriller that pulls back the curtain to reveal something that society rarely thinks about, like Spotlight, or something just so completely original, like Everything Everywhere All at Once. What if it was Anything, Anywhere at the same time? Shaving Private Ryan. Just joking. Okay. A Fight from the Dark Heart. I almost just want to call it Dark Heart. As award-winning film, Dark Heart. Or be someone so prolific without an Oscar that they give you one out of pity. Like, yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that a couple times, haven't we? In real life. I like that. We'll go with the award-winning film Dark Heart, and everybody could be like, oh, I loved Dark Heart. Oh, so good in Dark Heart. Part of me makes me think also, what if it was something like My Left Foot, like a Daniel Day-Lewis, like crazy performance, and just call it My Right Hand? Would that be too stupid? I'm gonna just make a pitch. Or My Right Hand. That would imply things. Oh, you're right. Oh my God. You're right. Okay. Dark Heart it is. Although it is camp. So is it the right choice? I don't know. It got a laugh out of Mookie. Maybe it's a good thing. That sounds like an innuendo. Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna keep it. I'm not saying we're gonna keep it on the board. I'm not saying I'm keeping it in any script, but it makes me laugh and seems to make you guys laugh. So let's keep it. Scott Stelzer from his award-winning film My Right Hand. I got my wife too. I'm not sure if it's good though. She's an easy laugh, but yeah, you like it? She likes it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Is it My Right Hand? Oh God. Because Dark Heart sounds. Shade Master Jade pitches the sequel, My Sock. But it needs to be something sock. My crusty sock. My something sock. Just to make it fit. Used. Okay. I appreciate the pot humor. I really do. Let's try and pivot out of this weird little tailspin that we've gotten ourselves into. Let's talk about the... okay, so that was the celebrity cameo. Guys, I'm really proud of the version of somebody that we came up with. Sobekin Live says, okay, everybody calm down. There is a line somewhere there, I'm sure. Yes. When we try and move on is usually whenever somebody finds it. We have the Kung Fu janitor. We had the litter obsessed janitor. I like this janitor duo that's constantly like maneuvering through the scenes. We could probably end up in television. They probably call these characters runners. There's your A story, there's your B story, and then your C story. Your C story is usually your runners. These are the guys that get the least amount of screen time, but are usually help maximize impact and are often comedic. You know what? This literally you can think of the janitor from the TV show Scrubs, if you're familiar with the TV show Scrubs. Like there was a janitor and a sweaty, anxious lawyer, and those guys were tucked neatly underneath your A and B storyline, and were jammed in there for 10, 20 seconds at a time. They're in there to be funny, crack the audience up, give them a quick break from the plot line, and then launch them right back in. That's kind of how I'm seeing Kung Fu and litter obsessed janitor. We have a concession stand worker, maybe the cousin who knows Claire's backstory and works at the drive-in and maybe even got Claire the job. But I will say, knowing Claire's backstory and getting Claire the job, this character is in service to Claire, and that's fine plot-wise while we're kind of figuring things out. But how can we give this character some agency, a sense of individuality? What makes this character? Are they temperamental? Maybe what I should say is, what is their temperament? What is their temperament? They want to be there. What's their relationship to Claire? Is it strained? Is it loving? Is it supportive? I'm doing my best for you, but you keep messing things up. I really stuck my neck out for you, Claire. I don't need you making speeches at my boss. Kind of a relationship. The fact that she got Claire a job makes me think that there must be some sort of goodwill there, unless it was done out of guilt. What are we thinking? What might best serve the story, or at least make a really interesting dynamic between Claire and her cousin, concession stand worker? And let me ask you this, writers. Pardon me. Is cousin too distant? Would we gain a sense of more immediate stakes if it was like a older brother or sister, or a younger brother sister type of situation, or even Claire's twin? Would that up the stakes at all? Shade Master Jade, I'll tell you about the game in the background that my wife is playing. This is Dinkum. Right now, you're gonna see her fight an alligator, win very deftly, and scoop up a few pieces of croco meat and perhaps a crocodile tooth as well. Here she goes. It's about to happen. As soon as she gathers a little strength to do her final stab, boom, done. Because my wife kicks ass at video games. Oh, yeah. Perfect, Mookie. Yeah, that's exactly. A runner is sort of a throwaway bit that is comedic normally and can appear as a thread through multiple episodes of a show. That's a clean definition. Thank you for letting me read that and writing it. Like George on Seinfeld calling himself Art Vandelay. It can help develop a character. And Shade Master Jade says, hello, wife. Okay, that was her doing a funny voice. Okay, that's not how she sounds all the time. And you sound like a normal person.
I'm being normal.
Yes, you are. And she's playing Dinkum. This is basically Australian Animal Crossing, but no animal characters, only animals that you can farm, raise, domesticate, and hunt. And the world is more expansive, and there's more things to do, and takes longer to get through, and more things you can build. And there's like helicopters and railroad tracks and dirt bikes and all kinds of stuff. It's really, really fun. It's a cool way to waste time. Oh, Sobican Live says hello in minion voice. Excellent. Wife approves. Depending on family situation, cousins can definitely help get the job. Okay, so we're thinking that cousin is... I'm just going to pull the word help from your sentence and make the decision that this writer's room thinks that the cousin always trying to help Claire. We know her backstory, so I can cut this. Works at the drive-in. That's implied with concession stand worker, and this being kind of like a... It's real. We're also kind of noticing that this is a single location kind of horror movie, which is really fun. We have a drive-in theater, probably out in the middle of nowhere to reduce light pollution. Probably retro fitted, super nostalgic, kind of almost like a little spot in the middle of nowhere, lost in time, especially with these people like bringing their cool cars to the show. Classic cars to the show. Maybe there's like a little touch of like modern and past colliding, which is really fun. I'm really liking this. This is kind of a fun situation to be in. Shade Master Jade, you tell me, is it an older cousin or a younger cousin? As a writer in the writer's room, I want you to pitch me one or the other, and how that would possibly change their dynamic. Does it even matter? Or is it just kind of a feeling that the audience gets, where this clearly younger cousin is... If it's a younger cousin, it has to be clearly younger cousin. Some people around the same age, I don't care. I just not going to see that on screen. Nobody like wears a necklace with their age around their neck, and the difference between somebody who is 32 and 34 is insignificant to me, especially as a viewer. But if you go really old or you go really young, now you have a power dynamic. And if you go really young, you have a campy power dynamic. But we're also kind of exercising that with the security guard, who is an adolescent in arguably an adult's job. So it would make me think like the other way would be something that we haven't used yet, which is a significantly older cousin who was looking after their younger, more self-righteous vegan chef cousin, trying to give them an opportunity. Sobican Live is pitching, if it was a twin, I would feel it would be too immediate and raise the stakes. When hell breaks loose, cousins are more expendable. Yes, I agree. I 100% agree. Okay, let's go with let's go with unless I'm moving too fast for Shade Master to come up with something, but maybe let's go with older cousin. Where did I put that? Oh, here. I'll just put older cousin. Shade Master Jade, I zoned out. Fantastic. We have a scrawny teenage security guard, valiant effort but bludgeoned to death with his own baton. That is pretty sad now, but also something that just kind of happens. We really want to hate these aliens, and if we have them like essentially kill not a kid but a young man, I think we're gonna be rooting for Claire pretty instantaneously, don't we think? Shade Master Jade, what are we talking about? Don't worry about it. Let's just keep moving on. We have a vintage car person there to show off their classic car, a Motorhead. I'm going to just say fan of nostalgia. They're already the vintage car person. Often says the way things, or often talks about the way things used to be. Right? His whole, or their whole persona is someone who is stuck in the past. Talk about fresh meat. We have sick person, blood disease or something terminal. This is so hard to... I kind of like, every time I read this, I go, oh, that's terrible. Is this something that we push through, or I don't know if this makes me, I don't know if this sparks joy for me. Do people know what I'm talking about? And this is something that I'm on the fence on. Maybe I won't spend a lot of time developing it, but I'll know that the option is there. Festival director. A looming, hulking figure who wears a dark suit and sunglasses a la Weinstein. Finger snapping, cigar smoking, old Hollywood personified. So basically, if you feed the Make-A-Wish kid to the aliens and the world is safe. Yeah, keep it there on the list, but only develop it more if there is a need. Okay. Yeah. And even Sobekin, part of me was thinking, yeah, it's like a little bit of a Make-A-Wish thing. It's just a hard thing to stomach. And we also have to ask ourselves, how do we want our audience to feel? And if we're trying to go for shock value, like Saltburn, like let's watch this guy drink this other person's bathtub water, this could be that water not to keep harping on water, but the water cooler moment. Water cooler talk doesn't really exist anymore because a lot of us remote work, but it's that thing that you go and talk about to your friends at work and ask, have you seen the thing? Did you see the part where it existed whenever monoculture existed? I don't know that monoculture is... Things that are monoculture are very rare nowadays. So, I don't know. I mean, that was just my train of thought. I don't know where I'm going with it, but that's just where my mind ran. So let's talk about the film programmer concession stand Worker.
Sorry, Let's Chat is no longer available.
What?
For now.
Alexa, stop. I don't know why you came on. We already have a concession stand worker, which is the cousin, but maybe concessions manager? Let me ask you this. Right now we have 3, maybe 4 shape-shifting aliens who have organized, who have found a way to organize a drive-in film festival to lure in humans to this spot in the middle of nowhere. A lot of people might think, well, with shape-shifting aliens, why go through all of this? Why go through all of this to eat humans? There must be a simpler way to eat humans. But I am attracted to the notion of this middle of nowhere. Like going back to location, it's not just a drive-in. It's just like a drive-in in the middle of nowhere, like almost in a black void of space off of some highway. And maybe at some point we reveal like a UFO above them whenever they realize there's no stars in the sky. Well, there's no clouds either. Where's the moon? You know, and it lights up and we realize there's kind of like an Independence Day UFO. I know I'm getting sidetracked off of my characters, but would that be a good image to go back and put in the list of cinematic images? If they're aliens, let's reveal the UFO. I'll say UFO reveal. Reveal the night sky has no stars, no moon. Maybe something like that. Could be fun. A picky human eater only likes humans that are wood grilled or deep fried or air fried. Sous vide, maybe. They have the manager of the drive-in. Greedy alien who's skimming off the top. Perhaps they are in a UFO and it's all done to make the juices flowing in the humans to make them tastier. Yeah, a little fear soup, right? That's fun. I like that a lot. Like if you're trying to escape into and drive off into the darkness and you wreck the vintage car, it just goes plowing into. Oh, you know what might be interesting? With we're talking about these vintage cars. Maybe this is under food truck or maybe it's under alien carnivorous kills. Aliens EMP and kill modern cars, forcing Claire to steal a vintage car, right? And if it runs into the side of a UFO because that's where they were the whole time, so be it. But that would be fun. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, it gives the Mist vibes. Yeah, good comp. Good comp. Good comparable movie is what that means. So the cinema is one of them studios. Oh, what do you mean? Like, well, you say one of them studios, but like the aliens have put together like a giant, like they just, the revelation is that it's a movie set of a drive-in inside of a UFO, or it's kind of a Russian nesting doll of surprises. I'll put this under alien because it feels like the UFO. It's not a kill, but Russian nesting doll of reveals. Let's say it's a set of a drive-in movie lot inside a UFO. Wait, what was there a third one? It's just, no, I think it's just those two things, right? A set inside of a UFO. And there could be like an allusion to like a bright light while they're driving. And then we think that they've just continued on their path. And then upon second viewing, you'll know, oh, they were abducted. Or they crossed some sort of threshold or whatever it may be. And they got Scott Stelzer, too. Can you believe? America's sweetheart. Okay. Yeah, it's some Inception type stuff right there. Cool, cool. Well, I just want to take a moment to stop and say, isn't it fun how we set out with the goal of some character creations, people for us to meet, people to kill, people that we would expect to see at the drive-in. Ooh, what about the ticket taker? Wheelie Gal, hey, welcome back. What's going on? How are you doing? Wheelie Gal, over on Twitch and YouTube Live, we're just writing in the Digital Writers Room. If you're interested in stopping by, saying hello, or seeing what we're doing, or if you want to check out the screen, we have some dinkum going on in the background. Feel free to brain rot with that if you want. But nice to see you. How are you? And of course, Ham It Up Fest 2026. Okay, we have a cool little cast of characters, plus our bad guys right here, our shape-shifting alien carnivore human consumer eaters, our fun fake movie star, Scott Stelzer. We have, of course, up here we have Claire and Sue, the sous chef. Somewhere up here. New moon, night of the new moon, Claire. Da, 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 da. Okay, so we also have a location. We know we're maybe inside of a set inside of a UFO of shape-shifting aliens trying to scare humans because that's when they're tastiest. We have our log line, our guidepost here. A self-righteous vegan chef is invited to cater a horror film festival only to discover shape-shifting aliens are feasting on cinephiles and she must find a way to defeat them before she becomes their next meal. Okay, cool. Well, y'all, let's see. What time is it? 7:30? Just started at, what, like 6? We can keep going. Let's keep going, I think. Unless people are about to peel off. Am I about to lose people? Tell me if I'm about to lose people. Let me know before I start getting invested in a whole nother part of this outline. Is everybody feeling good? Or does everybody maybe need like a break? A little water break, bathroom break? Just to walk around, stretch out the old legs? Ooh, let's stretch. Now, if you're at the keyboard for a long time, let's make sure we get that back too. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that neck. Them shoulders. Sobekin Live says, I might peel off, but it's been super fun. Okay, excellent. Well, thanks, Sobekin, for sticking around. As long as you did, I think our next step, if you guys tune in next Tuesday, we're going to start taking our characters, we're going to start taking our plot, we're going to start taking our location, start taking the tone, we're going to start taking all of our images that we brainstormed, and we're going to start piecing things together into a rough outline. We're going to start building the spine of the story. This is the thing that we fill out where we could take a a big step back, look at the story, and go, on the whole, if I had to summarize this movie, is this fun? Is this interesting? Is this dramatic? Does it make me feel something? Does it make me emotionally resonate? Literally, we have all of the pieces. We have the jigsaw puzzle to start assembling. We have our characters. We have our location. We have motivation from the characters. We have some backstory. It's really, really cool. All of the parts and pieces now. And then we're going to start putting them in some sort of order that makes coherent sense. And guess what? It's not gonna be good. That's what rough drafts are. That's what sketching out the concept kind of leads to, right? It's something for us to go, oh no, this is terrible, but it gives us something to fix. And I think as maybe fans of cinema or fans of other writing and literature, we do this all the time. Wheelie Gal. I have a sprained rib. Oh my goodness. Please pray for me. Everybody join Digital Hands for Wheelie Gal. Let us bow our head in prayer. Dear omnipotent being, God, nature, universe, whatever it is that we decide that we are believing in, let us summon all of our energy for Wheelie Gal's rib, and that it may heal quickly and correctly, and leave her pain-free for the rest of the day. Break. Okay. We've done it, Wheelie Gal. We prayed for you. I hope that worked. We sent out the good vibes into the universe. You let us know. And if it did work, then you owe us $500 for our medical bill. Okay, so if you guys are going to peel off, then I'll just bring this down to a slow stop. But what I'd like to say is, we do this all the time whenever we look at other people's work. We sit on the couch and we judge. We judge work and we say, oh, God, I could have done better. Or why did they introduce that character? It makes no sense. Wait, why would they go there? Wouldn't a human being have called the cops first? Or that's not how I would have reacted. Or don't go upstairs, go outside, get in the car. Or you can't drop the keys to the ignition because everything's a smart key now. Blah, 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 blah. We have all these little judgments that we do whenever we watch a movie or we read a story or something, how we would have done it. Well, we have to make a bad version of our movie and then be mean to our past selves. The writers of today, us today, guys, we are about to tear ourselves apart next week. We are but amateurs to next week's version of ourselves. And that's fun. Because every day that we write and every day that we think about our craft, every day we get a little better, don't we? And if anything, even if you're not a writer, if you're here just for the funsies, I just want to say writing always applies. Writing is communication. Writing is the materialization of our thoughts. And as human beings, we always have thoughts. And to see them on paper, to read them out loud, to have other people read them, it's life-affirming. It changes our mind about our own thoughts. It changes our perspective on who we are, who we thought we were, who we think we're going to be. Writing is a powerful tool. It's more than just list and journal entries about how you felt that day. It's an expression of self. It's an expression of how you think other people feel. We literally get to step into the shoes of other characters and pretend to be somebody else for a while. It is a safe place to exercise life. It's a safe place to exercise creativity. And there is next to zero to barrier to entry, nearly everybody has access or can steal a pen and a piece of paper. Anybody can write, anybody can write, anybody can write. And whenever I tell people I'm a writer, I hear this all the time. Oh, I wish I could do that. I'm not really a writer. I have to, if I can, take a moment and tell people exactly how wrong they are. We all write every day. If you wrote a list for your grocery store trip, you thought about everything that you needed in your life and you everything that you needed for sustenance. That's a form of character work. It's a reflection of you. You can go back and look at your old grocery lists and think about what you used to consume, what you used to like, what kind of person consumes that many Nutri-Grain bars, right? Whatever it may be. We learn about ourselves by documenting ourselves, and we document ourselves by writing out our thoughts and keeping them, and looking back for introspection and reflection. Even if you never show it to anybody, writing is a historical document of yourself, and it's therapy. You've probably heard the therapeutic exercise that somebody will say, well, write a letter to somebody that you never even send. You can write your letter and you can write out your feelings to that person, and then you can burn it and send it into the ether. Whatever you wrote on that piece of paper, if you've ever done that exercise, that is the purest expression of yourself. That's your guitar. That is your blank canvas. The ink has been your paint, and you have done something artistic because you looked inside yourself. And so if you're ever thinking that you're not a writer or that you can't do it, I just want to tell you that you're wrong. I want to tell you that you're wrong in the best way possible, because you can do it. You have done it. And if you want to really be a writer, you can start today. I know that you have a pen or a pencil in your house. I know that you have a notes app on your smartphone, and you're probably watching on a device that is connected to some sort of keyboard or has one on your touchscreen, right? You are connected to ways to document your thoughts, and that makes you a writer. So thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for writing with me. I appreciate all of you sharing your thoughts with me, sharing your creativity with me. It's a joy to come home from work, and this is the kind of work that I really like to do. This isn't attached to a deadline. This isn't attached to a big Hollywood budget. These are a group of like-minded people. You found your community online, and we found a way to connect with each other through the sharing of creative ideas, through the sharing of a medium that we all love, which is either prose or screenplays or poems or short stories, whatever we're tackling this week. And just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for showing up, and thank you for clicking, liking, and subscribing, and following, and then seeing the Twitch notification and coming over here. That was amazing. Like, I'm surprised. I'm just always surprised that anybody cares to give me any of their time. So I'm really appreciative of you for showing up. So thank you. And I guess that's all I have. But what I'd like to do now is find somebody to raid. If you're on Twitch and you want to stick around, let's find somebody who is fun, that will have a little, that'll be a nice little transition out of this session. And next Tuesday, we'll start putting our puzzle pieces together. We'll start putting things in an Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. We're going to talk about why things belong where, and then we'll also play the game, if I can remind myself, but and therefore. We're going to introduce tension and resolve it, and then introduce tension and resolve it, and introduce tension and resolve it, and try and put our characters through the ringer in this outline to create drama. And Wheelie Gal says maybe we can work on one of my stories one day. Of course, Wheelie Gal. Also, Wheelie Gal, if you haven't liked and subscribed, go ahead and do that. But also, I have a Discord where people share their work. If you want to drop your work in the Discord, I can get a head start of like reading it and seeing how like maybe we'll attempt to tackle it if you want to do that. And I will just quickly verifying Discord. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I'm going to drop a link to my Discord in both the my YouTube channel chat and in the Twitch chat. I don't know which one's easier for you to hop on to, but I'd love for you to join the Discord and share your work there. I have the appropriate channels based on if it's a screenplay, a short film, short story, prose, poetry, whatever it may be. Oh, thank you, Sobican Live. I appreciate you. Okay, let me pull up the Discord. Let's get the link going. Oh, installing update. Boo. Okay, it's moving fast. Here we go. Okay. Checking for updates. Why are you going to check for updates when you just installed them? Come on. Come on, Discord. Don't fail me now. And it's crashing out. I'll go through it on my browser. This is crazy. Wheelie Gal, what have you done to me? Log in on my browser. I wonder if it's out of date. Okay, let's invite you by copying this. All right, I'm dropping it in the chat on YouTube, and I'm dropping it in the chat on Twitch. And Wheelie Gal, wherever you are, or whichever one is easiest for you to get to, get there. Join the Discord as well, and share your work. And I'll get a notification whenever you've done that. Now, for anybody who wants to remain on Twitch, let's find somebody to raid. I love the Twitch raid. I love sharing the love. Let's see. Let's go to reading and writing. Sorry, it's writing and reading. Haha. Let's see who's doing what. Who is actually writing right now? Who's got words on a page? I want to find a good one. Who's got text up? Ooh, it's sparse. I know it's tough out there. Ooh, wait. Soggy Wednesday. Soggy Wednesday seems to be writing. Professional cleaner by trade, reading about sports. Sports. I don't know. Maybe? I don't... I'm having trouble bridging the gap. Ooh, Moog. Oh, she's reading Nels Klim's Journey Under the Ground by Ludwig Holberg. I like this. Let's raid Moog, shall we? If you can write, better read, baby. So one more O in Moog. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. You know I loved having you. Oh yes, Jacquet. That's right. Correct. Thank you so much, Wheelie Gal and Jackie, for sharing your work. I look forward to seeing it on the Discord. And let's go ahead and raid Moog. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Okay? Bye, everybody. you? Snacks and games and stuff.
Tanned.
Does it make you feel good whenever you get an idea in it?
Yeah.
They are a cool group of people, digitally speaking.
As far as we know.
As far as I know. Where are you going?
Gotta go get some materials to make a weapon for
Oh.
the weird guy.
Oh. Not Jimmy.
No, Ted Selly. There's a can on his head.
Yeah. I'm familiar.
Just ran into him.
And he wanders around. I don't even know if they have
Yeah.
if he's on the map.
I don't think he is.
But I do think that you can hear him if you turn your volume back on.
Oh, okay.
If you get close enough. It's still like the whole fucking map, but at least you know exactly, I mean, approximately where he was.